Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Jackie and let's get started. For DIY number one, I'm going to take one of these DIY 3D craft kits from the Dollar Tree, and this is the little Nativity. And I'm going to go in with the Waverly chalk paint and the color ink and give it one light coat. And here it's nice and dry. I'm just going to assemble everything just temporarily. And I'm going to set it aside, and I'm taking one of these little houses from the Dollar Tree and I'm removing the backing and the paper that's on the backing. And now I'm taking this wall sticker, and it's like a shiplap print, and I'm going to use my pen to just outline the house frame, the backing part, and then cut it out. And then all I'm going to do is unpeel it and stick it on the backing. Looking really cute. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure it's going to fit, and now I'm going to go in with my Waverly Antique Wax and give this a nice coat like this. And now I'm taking my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and with my chunky chippy brush I'm going to do a pretty good distressing, not necessarily light, not necessarily heavy, but kind of in between, as you can see here. So whatever comes out, that's how I'm going to leave it. So in some areas it'll be heavier than others, but this is the look I'm going for on this particular DIY. And so I'll just do a full coverage and get all the sides, inside and outside, and all the edges, and define all the lines. And now that it's nice and dry, I'm just going to add some beads of glue and add this frame onto the backing like this. And so now I'm ready to start assembling. So now I'm taking apart my little Nativity that I did put together and reassembled it, and add some glue and place the base on the inside of the little house. And the wise men, I'm going to add them to the side as they're coming in, like this. So this looking really cute. And now I'm going to go in with this really pretty farmhouse ribbon. It's black and white stripes, and I'm making a quick bow, and I'm going to dovetail the ends, and I'm going to place this cute bow in the top of the little house. So just like this, snip off the rest, and definitely dovetail those ends, make it look really pretty and high end. So now I'm just going to do a little dab of glue and fluff up the little bow, and then add a dab of glue and add this ribbon. And then also I'm going to secure the tails onto the sides of the house, that way it doesn't get in the way. And so now all it needs is a little star. So I'm going to take one of these craft icons, these laser cuts, and I'm just going to give it a light brushing of the Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, just whatever's on my brush. Just give it a nice little light coat. And I'll just add a dab of glue in the center of the bow and add my star. And that is it. Super cute, very farmhouse. What do you guys think? And a closer look at the final reveal. This video is a part of the Reason for the Season challenge, and it is hosted by LaParsha over at Creating It Myself. And with this challenge, there's a playlist, so when you're done watching my video, please head on over to my description box and watch the playlist and see all the beautiful creations for this challenge. For DIY number two, I'm taking another one of these DIY 3D craft kits, the Nativity, and I'm going to go in with the Waverly Antique Wax and get every single portion nice and covered with the antique wax. And again, I'm going to assemble it just to set it aside and move forward with my other piece, and that's this triangle shadow box. This time I'm not taking it apart. I'm going to go in with this Mountain Blue paint by Apple Barrel, and I'm going to do a nice full coverage on the inside, on the outside, all of it. So it looks like this. And now I'm taking my Waverly Antique Wax, and with my chunky chippy brush, I'm going to give it a nice distressing on it. And this one is going to be on the lighter side, but I just wanted to give it another dimension of color. I'm going for the blue and browns, which is very rustic, like a winter rustic look. So that's what I'm going for on this DIY until I get it to look like this. And now I'm going to go in with my Nativity set And I'm going to remove everything off the base and make sure the base is going to fit in there. And then I'm trying to do the little stable part, and it's not going to fit just right like I wanted it to, but that's okay. I'm taking my mighty EMT shears and I'm just going to snip off the 2 corners. This side, make sure it's going to fit, and then the other side cut the same way. It just snips off real easy with these shears, and just like that. Look at that, perfect. And now I can reassemble and add the Holy Family inside. And I'll do the same kind of setup. I'll do the Holy Family inside, and I'll do the wise men on the side as they're coming in. So now I'm going to add another dab of glue on the base just to make sure it's nice and secure. And I'll add the wise men to the side of the shadow box as they're coming in. So now I'm going to embellish, and I'm going to go in with this burlap ribbon that came out in the fall, and I happen to still have some of it, so hey. And I'm going to snip off what I think is enough to create my bow. Oh, but first I'm going to remove some of the edges of the burlap just to give it that very rustic look, because like I mentioned, this one's going to be more of a winter rustic kind of look. So here I'm just going to form a quick bow and just cinch it in the center, and with those same strands that I pulled off, I'm just going to use that to create the bow in the center and tie it off. Do a nice secure double knot like this, and then snip off the excess and then fluff up the bow until it looks like this. Look at that, so cute. So here I'm going to remove some more pieces off the bottom and make sure that the tails are nice and even. I'm not going to dovetail these just because I want it to look very rustic like this. So now that I get it just right, now I'm just gonna take a dab of glue, add it to the very point of my triangle shadow box, and add my big bow to it. Look at this, and that bow against that blue, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. This might be one of my favorites right here. So pretty. And I'll secure both tails the same as I did the first one, just to make sure they're not flying around. And look at that, oh so cute. And again, I'm going to use one of these laser cut stars. I used one of the middle ones, and this time I'm using the top one. And I'm just going to add a little dab of glue and secure it to the center. And that is it. Super cute. What do you guys think? Closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 3, I picked up this really cute, unique nativity ornament from my local thrift store. It was only $1, so I was happy to find it. And I'm going to also use this really cute light bulb. It's like a light bulb terrarium from the Dollar Tree. I was surprised to find that, and I thought, ooh, this would fit in there perfectly. So now I'm going to take one of these snowball decors. These are new this year, and they're just made out of a cotton, and to me they really resemble the Easter bunny like tail, like a cotton tail. So I'm just going to stretch it open a little bit, and I'm going to add a dab of glue and secure it inside of the light bulb like this. Looking cute. So this is going to be my snow. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of the Waverly Antique Wax and some water mixture, and I'm going to go in all the cracks and crevices of this little nativity. I really like the color of this nativity, and I just wanted to give it a little bit of an antiquing effect with the antique wax and water. So here I'm going to take some glitter, and I'm just going to zhuzh up my little snowball a little bit with a little bit of the glitzy glitter, shimmery and pretty. And here I'm taking these little trees, bottle brush trees from the Dollar Tree, some silver and some white, actually 1 silver, 2 white, and I'm going to start adhering these trees inside my terrarium in my little scene. So I'll add a white one and then a silver one in the center and a smaller white one on the other side of the silver one, and I'm just going to secure my cute little nativity on the inside. And I take a little bit more of this snowball. I actually cut this one and add a little bit to each side just to make it a little bit more full. And now I'm taking this pick, it's poinsettias, but I just want this little piece that's got the pretty snow on it and the berries. So I'm going to add a little dab of glue and place this little piece, this little pick on there. And I'm just adding a bow that I purchased from Dollar General. And that is it. Super cute. I do secure the tails once again just to make sure that they're a little bit controlled, and that way everything stays nice and pretty. And that is it. Oh no, and I do add a star, of course, and again one of these laser cuts, and I just secure it to the top, and that is it. Super cute. What do you guys think? And a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 4, I'm taking one of these candlestick holders from the Dollar Tree, and I'm also going to take one of these candle dishes from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'm going to go in with E6000, and I'm going to add some E6000 to the inside edge of the glass, of the candlestick glass holder. And I'm going to place my glass dish down, upside down, and place my glass holder in the center. Get it nice and centered, looking good. Set it aside. I don't add any hot glue. I just want to leave it alone for the overnight. And now I'm taking one of these vases, they're candle holders, I'm not really sure what it is, from the Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to take one of these little doorknobs, like crystal doorknobs, and this is from Amazon, and I'll link it in my description box. And I'm going to add some E6000 and simply add this to the top and create my own little cloche. So I'll set that aside to dry. And now I picked up this other little nativity from my local thrift store. Actually, this one was from Goodwill, and it was decent price. It was only $2, and it lights up. It works. Beautiful. Perfect. And it's ceramic. I do go in and clean it up a little bit. It was kind of dusty. I was just glad it worked. So now I'm going to go in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white and paint it up and do a full coverage. And now I'll take some more of my Waverly antique wax, and I'll add a little bit of water just to thin it out a little bit. So this is the same way I created my, I want to call it a stain for the previous DIY. So I'm just going to lightly take my brush and go over all the little cracks and crevices just to give it that antiquing effect. And if I go too heavy with any of it, I have a baby wipe, and I'll just lightly just remove a little bit of the antique wax if I go a little too heavy. That worked really well. But definitely around all the leaves and all the crevices, just kind of, you know, go in and get it deep in there. And I just work on this until I get it to look like this. Look at that. Oh my goodness, it looks so beautiful. So now that I'm happy with it, I'll set it aside, allow it to dry, and now I'm ready to assemble. And I'm just going to take my base, set it down, place my nativity inside, and my little cloche fits perfectly. But no, I'm not done. We have to do a little bit more embellishing. So I'm going to go in with this ornament filler, and it's really pretty pearls, very pearly look, and some gold and some silver as well. And actually there's a few little copper ones too. So all I'm going to do is spill these on top of my dish, my glass dish, and I'm going to turn on my nativity because it lights up, and then set all my little pearls aside and have it kind of go around it, place my cloche and have all the little pearls go inside. And then I do add a little bit of faux snow on the outside of the cloche until it looks like this. And a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 5, I am taking one of these really pretty Christmas cards, and this one's from the Dollar Tree. I went to move the little star and it just fell off, but that's okay. I will fix that. And I'm removing this ribbon just to snip off the excess part of this card. I'm not going to need it. It's got a pretty stain on the inside, but I'll use that for another project maybe. So here I'm going to work with this piece of the card, and I'm going to re-adhere the little star. It's on a little like a little twine piece, like a little gold thread. So I'm just going to go ahead and hang it back on there. I thought that was a cute little effect. And I'm going to secure this blue velvet ribbon back on as well. So I just add a dab of glue and press it down. And now I decided to remove the nativity portion of this card. I like the effect, it's really cute, but I wanted to do something a little extra. So I'm removing all the adhesive strips that are on there. I'm not going to use them. And instead, I'm going to go in with some of these little blocks from the Dollar Tree, these little cubes. And so I begin with 4, but I actually ended up using 6. And all I'm going to do is take one of these little blocks and place it on each point of this cutout. So I'll do one in the top center, one on each side of the bottom edge, and one on each of the 2 corners on the sides. And then the last one will be on the very center, just to give everything a nice balanced, even look. And now all I have to do is add some more hot glue to the other side of the cubes and re-adhere it to the card like this. And that gives it a much better 3D look. I really like this look. I think it's super cute. Set it aside, and now I'm going to work on this frame. This frame almost perfect. It's almost perfect for this card. It's a little bit bigger, but it's okay. We'll work with it. And we're just going to remove the backing and the twine and the mini clothespins that are on here. And I don't show it, but I ended up painting the base in black. And here I'm not liking the way the sides are showing, so I'm going to go in with these mid-size craft sticks, and I'm going to snip off enough to create the structure, the sides of the structure. And it's just as simple as measuring and cutting and measuring and cutting until I get all 5 of my craft sticks cut and perfect sizes to go on this. So now I'm going to go in with this Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean, and I'm going to paint them up. And this color is very close to the whole feel of the card, the whole theme, color scheme. So I'm going to add a dab of glue and just place these craft sticks in there. And I'll begin with the bottom, and then I'll go to the roof and do the 2 roof lines, and then I'll do the 2 sides, and that way it's a nice and finished look. Look at that, so much prettier. Now all I have to do is adhere my card onto my base, and I'm going to go in with this metallic gold ribbon. It kind of goes with the color scheme, and I'll finish up all the edges with this ribbon like this, and I'll snip off any excess ribbon. And look at this, it's looking so cute. Now I just have to place it back on my frame and make sure to secure the back. And now I'm ready to do a little bit of embellishing. I don't want to do too much because there's already some embellishing here, but I felt like I needed something more. So I'm going to go in with one of these Merry Christmas pieces of wood from the Dollar Tree, these laser cuts, and I'm going to paint it with that same ocean blue from Waverly. And I'm going to go in with this gold marker and just kind of go over the Merry Christmas wording like this. And then I did pick up these really pretty goldish holly leaves, and I'm going to adhere them together with a little bit of glue and add them to each of the corners. And one of these little gold, it's like a gold, like a filigree piece that also came on this pick. And I'm just going to add that to the very top just to give it another festive look. And I'll secure it to each side of these corners, and then I'll add my Merry Christmas wooden banner on top. And look at that, super cute. What do you guys think? And a closer look in the final reveal. For DIY number 6 and my last DIY of this video, I'm taking a set of these burner covers, and I'm just going to use the bigger one, the larger one, and I'm going to go in with this Waverly chalk paint in the color Ink and do a full coverage. And this is going to be a chalk couture DIY. Had to do one. So I have this really pretty nativity transfer, and I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm just going to use my white chalk paste and do a full coverage on this transfer. I'm not able to do the star at the very top because the burner cover is not big enough, but that's okay. That's the beauty of these transfers. You can do as much as you want, or you can do as little as you want. So I'm just going to take this white chalk paste and go over as much as I want on here. And as you can see, this just glides on there so smooth and so easy. I love this technique. Just this chalk paste. If you can butter a piece of bread, or if you can frost a cake, you can do chalk couture for sure. And just wait to see the outcome. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. And I'll leave my link to my link tree in my description box, and in there is my link to my chalk couture website. So if you're interested in checking it out, there's lots of tutorials in there, videos to watch. You can purchase just the transfers, or you can purchase a subscription, or you can become a designer like myself. Okay, so here we go. We're just removing the transfer, and look at this. Oh my goodness, so cute. So cute. Look at that. And as you can see, my transfer cleaned up very nicely. So now I'm going to go in with this crocodile, and I'm going to create a hole on each side of this burner cover towards the top, like this. So I add one hole on one side and one hole on the other, because I'm going to create a beaded hanger to hang this for my wall. Yeah. And here are my wood beads from the Dollar Tree. A sweet subscriber friend sent these to me, so I just secure it to each side like this. And now I'm going to go in with some of this burlap trim just to give it a nice edge on the side. And it's just as simple as adding a little dab of glue to the top right here, and pressing this on and going all the way around this whole outside perimeter until it looks like this. Look at this look. It's such a pretty look. So now all I'm going to do is add a couple little pieces of evergreen up on the top in this manner, and then I create a bow out of some burlap ribbon that was out in the fall. Place that on top, and then I get a tiny little wooden star that's from Crafter Square and place that on top. This is all about layers. Gotta have those layers. And I'm just absolutely loving this piece. And now I'm going to take my lighter, and I'm going to remove all the fuzzies that are on this burlap trim. There was a lot of little fuzzies, and so if you guys follow me, you guys know I love to burn the fuzzies off of burlap or twine, and this works perfectly. It gives it that higher end look, and plus the smell. I like the smell. Okay, so I feel like the star needed another little extra something. So I'm going to go in with one of these little tiny blingy stars just to give it that little bling for Christmas. And look at that. Oh my goodness, that's the perfect little touch. And what do you guys think? Okay, now on to the final reveal. I'd like to take a moment and thank LaParsha from Creating It Myself for hosting this challenge. I had a lot of fun creating for it, and it was very meaningful to me, as the Lord is very important in my life. And I'm super excited to watch the playlist and see the love that everybody else has for him as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great day. Merry Christmas, and bye-bye.